I love that offering, take us inside a song. Take us inside a song. This song, it's called A Little Engine That Could. I had been struggling to write a song about my dad. And my dad passed away, 11 years ago now. And I was really struggling to write a song about him. It was like, this grief is the sustained note in the Song of Life. It seemed too pointy. I seemed to be in it too much. I couldn't get out of it enough to be able to have some perspective to actually, I couldn't get out of my own way to write the song. To write some kind of musical offering that really celebrated the love that I have with my dad and the fact he gave me so much music. He encouraged me my whole life, but I couldn't get there. I couldn't get out of my own way enough to write the song. What if I just write a list of a lot of the things that I remember about the relationship I have with my dad, and I just kept doing this line. And it was very, not quite mechanical, but it was really deliberate, the pulse of it. And I thought one day, that sounds like a little train. And it made me then remember the book that Dad used to read to us, which was called A Little Engine That Could. And I thought, well, what would Dad say? And he would have said, you know you can, the way that the book says. I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can. So how do I feel when I look at this? In all honesty, I think, how did I do that? Like, how did I do that? How did I paint this creature and its rib cage that seems to extend? So I am in a state of, when I notice and when I feel it, I am in a state of amazement because, you know, so this painting here, I think, who are they? I remember when they came to play, wow, there's friends. Then it became that 4, 5, 6, 10 paintings would come. So I got into one of my hyper-fixation, hyper-creative, like pouring. Because the thing about the visual art for me is that it came in a flood. And the thing is, and I've done this with some instruments, but mostly with visual art, where I think I am never not going to do this until the day, and I remember it, to the day I stepped into my studio and picked up the paintbrush that was so well used and all the paints that I'd gathered in this nest of joy, and I did not have a clue what to do with the brush. How I feel is very glad that I gave myself to those moments. I celebrate the colour, which is really what it was about.
How would you describe your relationship with colour?
It's fascinating. I was away for a week recently with a group of artists, as you know, and all of the clothes that I wore were kind of mushy, sludgy, greeny, grey, and I brought this with me. And I put this on in like day 4 or 5, and instantly I looked in the mirror and I said to myself, well, there you are. And then I went into the dining room and a lot of the people that I was there with said, well, wow, well done, now you've shown up. It's a joy to watch how colours play with one another.
What is your experience of living inside the gallery that displays your art? What happens to your mind when you see your art as you walk through your home?
The word that came there was an excitement. I mean, I've always loved certain colours in my life. So my relationship to colour is playing. When I was watercolour painting, I was like a child who was taken right back to being 4 or 5 and putting blue on the page, good watercolour paper, and then putting orange next to it and going, wow, look how they play. Then I discovered gold paint, and I went through my gold period where I just washed everything in gold at the end and just watched the gold just, you know, it was magical to watch the gold then playing with the colour. So I play with colour all the time. When I learned the piano, which I did for years, Dad sat with me every single practice for an hour, lay on the floor and listened to me practicing and playing all the songs I had to play for my teacher and the songs that he then said, let's have fun. But when things got on to like Chopin, and I looked at the page and I said, Dad, there's too many notes. And I remember he said to me, you're just going to break it down. For every note there's a finger, because literally the fingering's there. He said, well, for every note there's a finger, so you take it as slow as you need. So there's lots of these little lines in the song. And there's a beautiful video that was made by my friend Ronnie Elliott for this song. And he's got my dad in it. And I said to him, did you ever meet my dad? And he said, no. And I said, well, how do you seem to know what he looks like? I am drowning in the memories, drowning in the past. I am wasting my todays, 'cause yesterday just couldn't last. Little feet were made to follow, 'cause the heart knows where to go. I'm just waiting for the whistle and the tendering to let you go. And I hope a train will come real soon from almost anywhere. Nothing special, nothing different, nothing decadent or rare. Just a plain old little engine made of sweat and steel and wood, and a footplate I can jump on to my own little engine, my own little engine that could. I know I can, I know I can, I've got this by myself. A little shove, a lot of love, God knows you taught me well. For every note a finger, and you watched my fingers grow. Now I can span the distance between what I feel and what I know. I am here